Well, of course, we all like to think that we are committed to being truthful, to tell things as we, not only as writers, but even as simply as human beings, to speak truthfully. And it's very difficult to do this because it's not something that we can be absolutely certain about. It's how we see things. So it's true to you, but it may seem not quite so true to somebody from another position. And so I think always truth should be, when we say we speak truthfully, that it should be something that already contains within it the possibility of being challenged. Then you ask the question about memory. Now, for a certain kind of writing, or the kind of writing I do, memory, or what you remember, memory is not just what you remember, though. Memory is a more complicated thing. It isn't just an ability to recall events and to say, this is what happened and that is what happened. Memory is also being alert to other people's experiences and remembering those. Memory is also about stories that other people have told over a long period. All of this experience, so experience is complicated. It's not just your experience, it's experience of other people, it's what you learn, it's what other people have learned. All of this becomes part of what you remember when you come to sit and write and, kind of figure out a situation that you want to investigate or inquire into. So when we say memory, it's not simply a personal issue. It's not just what I or a person remembers in the sense of things that have happened in their lives, but rather a broader sense of what has happened in their lives, which might be intellectual, emotional, as well as personal. Well, this is a matter of luck. It's not a matter of choice. Part of the luck is discovering that at a certain stage, well, partly, of course, we were colonized by the British, so I was introduced to that language. If they hadn't come to us, perhaps I might never have come across English. But as it is, I was colonized by the British and did come across English and discovered that I have a certain facility in it. It's something I can do. I have a skill in it. Writers are not like free-floating individuals who might say, I know what, I'm going to write in Chinese, or I'm going to write in French, or whatever. It's the language that kind of chooses the writer. That, in fact, there is this language available to me, and I do have a certain skill in writing in it, and I do have certain thoughts that I want to put down. So English it is, and I of course was already reading a great deal in English, and writing is often kind of in conversation with other writing. So it wasn't unexpected that I would also want to use English myself, because I was reading English and wanting to speak back to some of the things I was reading, and there is an intimacy between writer and language, which is not choice, but which is more complicated than that. So of course it is negotiable. It doesn't mean that you nail it down and you say, okay, I've got it now, I am this. These things are always negotiable, even within the same culture. The idea of who we are, or who a person is relatable to a number of different things. Language, maybe religion, maybe other forms of cultural expression, maybe location, where you are, who lives around you, etc. All of these involve the self-perception, as it were, that we then in the end call identity. But what I'm suggesting then is that these things are all negotiable. You have to be able to cope with change. Now that change might be happening, say, in technology, or it might be happening in architecture, as well as, in human relations. And being able to cope with all of this is a quality, a human quality of survival, of course, but it's also a way of understanding the world you live in. So identity is not a static thing. It's not a thing that is kind of like a lump inside you, that when you've kind of located it and secured it, you can say, right, now I'm safe. I just have to hang on to this, because it requires reassessment, negotiating yourself and your community. And if you happen to be in a community that is not fully yours, that is to say, if you're a stranger somewhere, this may produce other kinds of tensions and pressures, which somebody within a community that they belong to might not have. But all of these things require a kind of alertness to the forces around you.